You ever wonder why, no matter how hard you work, it just feels like you're always one unexpected bill away from being broke again? Like you're trying to get ahead, but your bank account just won't let you breathe. You're not alone, and chances are it's not just bad luck. It's bad money habits that you don't even realize are holding you back. In this video, we're going to break down 11 toxic habits that are quietly draining your wallet and keeping you stuck in a financial cycle you can't seem to escape from. And most importantly, we're going to discuss how to break them before they break you. Hi, I'm Tori, and today we're going to have an honest conversation about money habits that quietly hold us back. Not just the obvious ones, but the small patterns that we often overlook. These habits may seem harmless, but over time, they can keep you stuck, stressed, and financially unprepared. First up, we have living paycheck to paycheck. This is a common problem across many households. There's nothing left after the bills are paid. There's like no cushion room, no breathing room. You're constantly in survival mode. Now, if you've been in this place before, you know how draining this cycle can be. You get paid on Friday, and by Monday, the balance is back to zero. Not because you're irresponsible, but because there's no plan for your money. So what can you do about it? Create a simple spending plan. Give every single dollar a job. Start by setting aside $10 to $20 per paycheck into a savings account. Small, consistent actions, small, consistent steps build momentum. When you are doing this, make sure you set aside what is realistic for you. Avoid feeling pressure to save an amount that will cause you struggle until your next payday, because right now we're trying to get things in order financially, not cause more stress. But don't cheat yourself either. So let's say you bring in $2,000 per month. After you've paid all your bills, you got about $150 left. Instead of just letting it vanish, you assign $50 to groceries, $50 to transportation, and then another $50 just can go tucked away into your savings account. That gives every dollar a job, and this is how you can start building a financial structure. All right, so on to number 2, not tracking where your money goes. You can't manage what you don't measure. So if you don't know where your money is going, it's like impossible for you to make the changes, right? Just think of it like this. You have to become the GPS system for your money. You need to know where that money is going, where that money is moving to. And this happens all the time. It's just like your money just disappears as the days go by. You assume like, okay, I'm not spending much on eating out until you realize you've spent $150 on matcha and takeout this month. Now that you know this, start simple, but as soon as now. Use a budget app or even a simple notebook to track your expenses. I do it all the time. I just write things down, and also keep receipts. Awareness is the first step towards taking control. You can download a free app. I know they're out there. And by the way, if you know a free app, go ahead and leave it down in the comments so that you can help somebody else out with another option. So when you're doing this, it could just look like this. Every time you spend something, write $12 lunch, $5 coffee. And at the end of the week, you just review and realize you spent $60 on food that you didn't plan for. That awareness helps you cut back next week. It's such a simple but powerful way to track where your money is going. Stay consistent and don't think, oh, it's just $5. I don't need to track it. This mistake will cost you in the long run, because the habit really isn't going to change if you have this way of thinking. Before we dive into number 3, if you're finding this video useful, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button to stay informed about more personal finance tips. All right, so now on to number 3, which this is a lesson that I learned quickly. Using credit cards like extra income. Some people don't see an issue with this one, but credit cards are tools, not an extension of your income. So relying on them to get by leads to a dangerous cycle of debt if you don't have a knowledgeable plan. So let's say you charge groceries, gas, and entertainment, but only pay the minimum balance. Now you're stuck paying interest on last month's dinner. Now, a thing to note here, using credit wisely can help you pay off debt, but you must have a discipline and a strategic approach doing so. If you must use credit card, treat it like cash. Only charge what you can pay off in full before the interest kicks in. If it's not realistic for you right now, pause the usage and focus on paying it down. Instead of using your credit card for gas when you're short on cash, just plan ahead and set aside $40 a week in advance for gas in an envelope or a separate space on a separate debit card or something. That way you aren't forced to use credit unless you already budgeted to pay it off right away. I hope that makes sense to you. So moving along to number 4. This here is a challenge that many struggle with for various reasons, but we can work on this. No emergency fund. I get it. Life happens. And when you aren't prepared, a simple inconvenience becomes a full-blown crisis. So for instance, let's say your car breaks down and you don't have anything in savings. So you put the $600 repair on a high interest credit card, or you just don't have any means for the repair and you have to rely on somebody else driving you around or asking to borrow a car or asking even to borrow the money to get your repair done so that you don't have to rely on somebody else or another means for transportation. In this case, start small. Aim for $500, then work towards $1,000. And again, that's that $10 or $20 that we talked about tucking away previously, adding up to that $500, adding up to that $1,000. So even if it takes time, having that cushion brings you a peace of mind. You can open a separate savings account and set an automatic transfer for $25, $10, whatever is feasible for you. And then after a few months, you saved, let's say you saved $200 without even thinking about it. So then when your tire blows out, you don't panic. You got it covered and you're not going into debt. Now your emergency fund is just that. You shouldn't think about the emergency fund as, oh, I can buy these new pair of shoes because I have this emergency fund. No. That's not what it's for, okay? Keep the emergency fund for emergency purposes. Okay, so moving on right along to number 5. So this one may sting a little bit. Spending to impress others. I'm sure you've heard the expression, keeping up with the Joneses. Trying to look the trend to impress others or keep up with others' material possessions actually delays becoming more successful. So, like, be honest with yourself here. Have you ever spent your last $100 on an outfit to look the part while your rent or bill is still unpaid? Or even spent your last $100 on a concert ticket or something knowing you needed something essential for your household or to get you through until the next paycheck? And this isn't to shame you at all, because trust me, I've been there. I've spent some money that I was not supposed to spend on clothes, shoes, you name it, and I knew I had to pay something else. So it's not to shame you at all. It is just to bring awareness to patterns that can change and help you improve your financial situation. So if this is you, shift from image-driven spending to purpose-driven choices. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Quiet confidence builds wealth. Instead of spending $80 on an outfit for an event, go ahead and shop something in your own closet. Wear something classic that you already own and put that $80 towards your savings goals. Something like a vacation fund. So you'll still show up confident. You'll still show up looking good, but now you've invested in your future, impressing yourself while still looking as good as ever. So a little story here. When I first moved out on my own, number 6 is something that I did for as long as I could. Ignoring bills or avoiding mail. Ignoring financial obligations only gives problems the time to grow. So missed payments lead to fees, stress, and credit damage. You may avoid paying bills because you're kind of careless about it, or you might be overwhelmed, whatever it is that's happening in that situation. But what happens next when those things happen is that you get the calls and notices that your service is going to be shut off. So now you're rushing to avoid the disconnection or the stop use of your cards or whatever the case may be. In this case, choosing to designate a money check-in day once a week can change your life. Set reminders to review statements, pay bills, and stay ahead of your finances. You can do something as simple as set reoccurring calendar reminders for every Sunday. So sit down for like 30 minutes to check your accounts, review upcoming bills, and handle anything that's due. When you start doing this consistently, you feel more in control and you're just not caught off guard. You don't feel like returning the mail to the sender. Like I tell my mail carrier sometimes, if it's a bill, send it back. But please do not skip this step. It's easy to let things get in front of what you start out as for a great intention to change those patterns, and you just kind of slip away thinking you'll do it later. Stick to the plan. Let's get into number 7, not setting clear goals. Without setting clear financial goals, you don't have any direction. Your money ends up serving everything and nothing. You say you want to save more, but haven't really defined for what, how much, or by when. Getting specific will help you stay on track and accountable for your financial situations. So set realistic, specific goals for yourself. So for instance, right, save $1,000 in 6 months. This gives you a target and a time frame, and it keeps you focused. But writing down something further like, I will save $1,000 in 6 months for my business startup, it gives you a real specific goal. That's about $167 a month. How can you do this? You can decide to cut back on things like eating out or do a small job on the weekend so that you can reach that goal. Some solution that fits your unique need, okay? And now you'll have your money moving with purpose. And keep in mind with this step that skipping any amount that you intend to save is likely to delay the timeline of you reaching your goal. All right, so we're more than halfway there. Let's keep on going. Number 8, spending more than you earn. I know you're thinking like, Tori, how is this possible? And I will definitely explain that. But first, hear me out on this. Overspending leads to stress and financial instability, and it leads into debt. So if your expenses exceed your income, the math will never work in your favor. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. It just will not. An example of how this happened is often so subtle that you don't even realize it. For instance, let's say you bring in $2,000 per month and you're spending $2,300. That shortfall keeps growing and eventually it becomes unmanageable. So you definitely want to take time to review your monthly expenses. Before you do this, already have it in your mind that you are going to have to part ways with some things that are causing you to overspend. And sometimes the attachments and conveniences, they have a stronger hold on you than you think. So don't make this mistake of holding on. Trim what you can and consider increasing your income with things like side jobs, freelance work, or offering a service. And still make sure you're taking care of your well-being if you did have to pick up some extra income. So you can review your budget, and maybe after reviewing your budget, you realize that something that you're subscribed to or some things are costing you more and you really don't even utilize them. So take time to cancel those things out. Start offering something low maintenance that you can do from home and increase your cash flow by like $150 a month. Okay, so now that negative cash flow is turning into positive cash flow, which flows us right into number 9. Number 9, not investing in your personal growth. If you are not learning, you're limiting your earning potential. Free content is great, but the real change often requires intentional investment. You'll spend $100 on clothes, but hesitate to spend $25 on a course that could increase your income or expand your skills. Invest in what grows you. Books, classes, and certifications that really add value to you. Choose to invest in those things. These things will increase your earning potential. When investing in yourself, don't take on any more than your time, finances, and the brain will allow. There is a such thing as an information junkie without using it to actually grow you. So spend $30 on a webinar that teaches you basic business planning skills or something, whatever your interest is. This one class may be able to help you financially structure your service-based business and land your first client. This investment pretty much pays for itself once you get those clients and then some. And speaking of value, number 10 is something that you should be aware of. Ignoring your credit score. Oh my goodness. Your credit score affects your ability to buy a home, rent an apartment, or even qualify for certain jobs. But some people are so unaware of that. If your credit score is low, you'll pay more for everything because of course you might have a higher interest rate. You might have a higher down payment. So say you apply for a car loan, but you get denied or get stuck with that high interest rate because missed payments that you didn't even know were hurting your credit score. This is a huge disappointment, but it happens often. So checking your credit score regularly through free sites like Credit Karma or your bank if they offer these services really can help you in the long run. Pay your bills on time, okay? And keep those balances low. Credit health is wealth, and doing this can help you stay up on what is valid, paid on time, and accurate on what's not. Okay, so take this scenario for example. You check Credit Karma and see that your score is lower than expected. You may find that one of your accounts is past due, so you call up and set a payment plan and you bring that account current over the next 2 months. Your credit score then improves, and now you're more aware of your credit health going forward. And if you find something inaccurate on your credit report, you can dispute it. But remember, calling with hostility isn't the way to get the issue resolved. Respect and kindness will get you further in the resolution process. So call with some respect and kindness to the operators or representatives that will be taking your call. Last but not least, for my parents, number 11. This will shape the generations to come. Number 11 is not teaching your children about money. If we do not teach our children how to manage money, likely they'll repeat the same financial mistakes that we work so hard to unlearn. So if your child sees you swiping cards left and right, but never sees you save, budget, or plan, they'll grow up confused about how money really works. Not to mention, they might not see you actually pay that card bill. So it might give them a different understanding than what you have, right? Because they're children. So talk openly about money at home. Let them see how budgeting works. Give them small financial responsibilities. They are watching and they are listening. So if your child wants something like a toy, instead of giving that child the toy immediately, you create a savings bank. So you give them small little things to do at home to help out, like folding towels or helping with dinner, putting the dishes away or something, and you pay them allowance that adds up over time. So after a few weeks, they build that savings, and then they buy that toy for themselves. So then they're feeling proud of themselves. And not only are you helping them learn the value of money, but you're helping them learn the value of their efforts, building their confidence through financial literacy, and teaching them how to contribute to others. So it's a win-win. Here's the truth. We all have areas to improve, but it's not about shame. It's about growth and awareness, and you don't have to fix everything overnight. Start with one habit, just one. One step, one small shift that moves you closer to financial peace. So those are 11 toxic money habits that are keeping you poor. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, and share to help someone you care about improve their finances. I'll see you on the next video. And remember, you don't need a lot to get started. You just need the right mindset and consistent action.